What is up, people of YouTube? I'm your host Vernon. This is the Red River. Let's fish that. Alright, ladies and gents, I often get asked, why am I always throwing baits out there when I'm fishing in the Red River? And the simple answer is, I'm not just using baits, but oftentimes it's a lot easier to make videos with baits. Pretty much anywhere in the world that you go, if you take the bait that those fish are used to seeing, you throw it out there, you will get some fish. That doesn't matter whether you're in Europe, Asia, South America, wherever you are, when throwing out some baits, you are more likely to get fish. But you don't always have the opportunity to travel with bait or stop at the local bait stop. So there is something about throwing lures and traveling with lures. And I do like throwing lures, but you have to understand that it's very difficult to always know exactly how to catch fish using certain lures. Not only do I not know what colors work out there, but there are small things, little ways of moving it, or giving a big hop, or just straight retrieving, different types of things. And it's these little things that can change the outcome, whether you're catching fish. And this video here, I'm going to explore that. I'm going to be throwing around some lures to see if I can get on some fish. Now, I might get skunked out there, so you might not even see this video. But it is also to understand that I'm also experimenting, trying different things, because you need to find what works in your waters. Alright, but that's just the simple plan of what I'm doing out there today. Let's have a look at the gear. Alright, ladies and gents, I've made my way back out to the Crouchaine Bridge. Just wanted to wait for some of the clouds to move past so we have some better light. Now, though this is not my favorite spot to fish, it's just close to me and it's quite easy to get to this spot and try and find some fish. You'll see that one of the little gates are closed, and that just means we don't have a lot of current on this side, but we also do have quite a lot of debris, lots of wood and sticks everywhere in this area. That just means that we are going to lose some lures out there today. With all of these snags, you're guaranteed to lose some lures, but I do also believe that fish like hiding in the cover. So if you're not losing a few lures here and there, you're not fishing in the right place. Right, and out there today, I'm just going to use my Quantum Strategy combo setup. On this little reel of mine, I have 20 pounds test braid. And then at the end of the braid there, I have a little barrel swivel that goes to some 15-pound fluorocarbon. I'm using 20-pound braid and 15-pound fluoro because there is quite a lot of snags, like I mentioned. And if we do catch some big fish, we can handle it on this setup. I'm used to fishing light line in clear water, but out here in the muddy waters, I think some heavier line might actually do the trick. Now you'll notice that with this little barrel swivel I have there, tying the two different lines together, well, normally I like using a fisherman's knot or an improved clinch knot, but on this particular setup, I'm using two polymer knots. Now, a large part of my focus out there today is going to be throwing around something like a little paddle tail, something with the blue and silver. I'm trying to match the bait fish that we know are out there, trying to get something to go for that. And I'm going to be swapping it over to different types or varieties and maybe try some different styles of heads, or maybe just going for a heavier weight to get it down on the bottom, bouncing it on the bottom. I do also have some other colors and stuff that I can throw out there, different things to try and get on some fish. So I'm not necessarily going to show you all of the things that I'm throwing out there, but I am going to be constantly changing, try and find something that we can get a fish on. Now, of course, we're going to lose a couple of lures. It's going to be an expensive day out there, but let's hope we get some fish, so fingers crossed. Alright, so using some lures, finally get another little walleye. First big walleye on lure. Let's get that little hook out there. Now whenever using treble hooks, be very careful when trying to remove the hook, because our hooks are barbless. They do come out easy, so it's not as big a risk. The fish start splashing around and these hooks get you, can be quite dangerous and sore, but because they're barbless they should come out easy. Let's quickly just get our fish some oxygen again. Been throwing around all sorts of lures today, trying to find any fish. Had a couple of, I think, pike chase my lures, but this is the first fish we landed. We gave him some oxygen, so let's quickly have a look at him. Crazy looking sharp teeth all throughout his mouth. If you go in there, you're not going to get out that easily. Nice decent walleye. This one is a bit skinnier. So this is 71 centimeters. Trying to get the ruler as flat as possible. So let's make it a 70 centimeter. That is still a 27.5, almost 28 inch. So lovely little 27-inch walleye. Still a good, decent catch. Again, just want to spend some time with this fish in the water. Make sure he's oxygenated. Good fun catching some walleye. Just want to get a good, nice look at our little walleye. 27-inch walleye, not too bad. Happy to finally get a big walleye on some lures. This is by far my biggest walleye on lure. But good catch. Let's get this guy back to the water. Just trying to find a place where we can actually release this fish, but there's not a lot of debris all over. But this looks to be the best place. Let's get our fish back. Look at the back of that fish sticking out of the water. Just want to make sure that he turns around, swims around. Strong kick from him and he's off. So I got that on a little Guggenbaits lipless crank. Believe it or not, this is actually the 17th lure that I've been using today. And I've been actually getting quite a lot of hits and follows using lipless cranks. But this was the first one to get a hit and actually hook a fish. Alright guys, I think we may have snagged ourselves a channel catfish. I'll be surprised if this one went for the actual lure. It's a bit difficult to try and keep him away from all of the snags I know that are down there. And he's been putting up a big fight, so That's why I say I think he's foul hooked. You may have snagged him. Now, of course, if he is snagged, it doesn't really count as a catch in my opinion. If he didn't go for the lure. This might actually not be catfish. This might actually be a big carp, but he is foul hooked. So this does not count as a catch. So if this is not a carp but a buffalo, which it looks to be, then sadly this does not count as a catch. It will be cool to see this fish, but it does not count as me catching one. Look at the lovely pearlescent colors on this fish, and it is indeed a buffalo. Rather cool catch. This is the native sucker fish from this area. Of course they grow to be like this because they're competing with the carp. This is what evolution came up in North America as the same type thing as a carp. But this is a 72 centimeter, that's 28-inch buffalo. Now, I don't know whether this is a big mouth or a small mouth. I would say this is a big mouth buffalo. If you know, please go down in the comments and tell me. What a cool fish. Sadly, doesn't count. Now once again, I just want to spend some time with this fish. Keep him in the water, keep him oxygenated. Cool to see this guy. If only he would have gone for our little lure and not got snagged. But let's get him back to the water. Dropping him in head first, and he swam off, blowing bubbles as he goes. But rather weird catch, even though it does not count as an actual catch. Alright, ladies and gents, made my way out here this morning, thinking I'm going to throw around some lures, grow my skill set, learn some new things. And all in all, we had a pretty good morning out there. We only got one fish, the rest were all snagged. We only caught one fish. There's one fish that makes this video actually happen. But at the end of the day, it was fun throwing out all sorts of different lures. So all in all, a very lucky day. It's very important to understand that I was lucky out there today. Now it is important to stress that I'm still learning, figuring out which lures work, which colors, which patterns. Some of my go-to old trusty lures, they don't seem to do a thing out there. And that's the thing about being in a new area. I need to learn what the fish want, and I need to find those lures. Now, of course, ice fishing season, I'm going to be doing lots of jigging, lots of playing around with lures then as well. But I did learn quite a lot out there today, especially seeing the amount of carp and buffalo in this area, as well as some catfish jumping every once in a while. I am surprised with the amount of different fish out there, especially some buffalo and stuff. Excited to see them. So all in all, pretty good learning experience for me out there. And if you enjoyed the video, please do give me a little thumbs up. Feel free to ask any questions down below in the comments. And if you're new to the channel, consider hitting subscribe, joining my community. Now, if you have any recommendations of what types of lures work pretty well out there, please go down in the comments and tell me. Alright, thank you for watching, and like always, I'll see you next time.